Okay, girls. This is lesson 8, chapter 5, factor linear expressions. So you need to know this vocabulary. Okay, what is a monomial? It is a number or a variable or a product of a number. And what do I mean by product? When I multiply a number with one or more variable. I can multiply with 2 variables. I can multiply with 3 variables. So I've given you example, a number. It can be negative, it can be positive, it can be a fraction. A variable can be A, B, C, D, any letter. Or a product of a number and one or more. So here is 1, a product and 1 variable. Here is a product of a number and 2 variables. Even here, a product of a number and 2 variables. 3 variables, 3, A, B, C. 3 variables. This is a product. How do I know it is a product? Because there is no plus or minus between my variable. So if I am multiplying, then it is a monomial. If you add and subtract, it is not a monomial. Do we understand? Now, what is a factor? Remember, factors of 6, numbers that I multiplied to give me 6. So in this lesson, when I tell you to factor, I am asking you the terms that you multiplied to get the monomial. What did I do to get negative 8? I multiplied negative 4 with positive 2. What did I do here to get this answer? I multiplied negative 25 with A with X. Or I multiplied negative 5 times positive 5 times A times X. So whatever you multiplied to get the monomial, those are what we are calling the factors. And you remember, factors can be positive or negative. Okay? What is the factored form? The factored form, you need a linear expression. Like x plus 6, or 4x plus 2y, or 8x plus 7y, like that. So the factored form is when a linear expression is written as a product of its factors. So each of the term in the linear expression, you will need to write it using the factors. So I will do a few examples so that you see what I'm talking about. So the question says, find the greatest common factor. Okay? So you'll be given a pair of monomials. There can be 2 or more. Okay? So let us do so let us do 6x and 24x. Okay, let's do like that. So what numbers did I multiply to give me 6x? I did x will be at the end. So I did 2 times 3. 2 times 3 gave me times x. Let me use times x, okay? So 2 times 3 times x. Then I do the same for 24. Okay? So 24 will be 2 times 12, which means 2 times, so I can break 24 like this. 2 times 12, 2 times 6, 2 times 3. So it is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. See? Okay. And then x, because it has x at the end. So now I want the greatest common factor. Who is common up here and down here? So I look, this is common, and this is common, and this is common. I have 2 here. This 2 does not have a friend. This 2 does not have a friend. I will not circle. This x has a friend down here. So I only write the numbers I circled. 2 times 3 times x. So this will be 6x. And this is my answer. So the greatest common factor of 6x and 24x is 6x. Let me choose another example where we don't have it in the question. Okay? So we can do we can do 16C and 28C. Let's do this one. All right. So 16C and 28C. So I'm going to do my work over here for 16. 2 times 8. 2 times 4. 2 times 2. So it is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times C. Put the letter at the end. Okay, here 28. We need to do for 28. 2 times 14. 2 times 7. Okay, so then I will do 2 times 2 times 2 times 7 times C. So these are both here. And this one and this one. And this one and this one. So my answer will be 2 times 2 times C. 2 times 2 is 4C. And this is my answer for finding the greatest common factor. Okay? Let's do one with 2 letters. Let's do... let's do 12AB with 18AB. Okay? So the question is 12AB and 18AB. The question wants you to find the greatest common factor. So we break down 12. 2 times 6. 2 times 3. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. So we'll do 2 times 2 times 3 times A times B. See, I said the letters will be at the end. Then we do for 18. 2 times 9. 3 times 3. Okay. 2 times 2. No, 2 times 3 times 3. 2 times 3 times 3 times A times B. This one does not have a friend. So I put this one. This one does not have a friend up here. And then this and this. So my answer is 2 times 3 times A times B, which equals to 6AB. 6 can go in 12 and 18. Okay? And then A and B are in both, so I have to write it here. Okay? So that is how you find the greatest common factor. Now let's do one where we have a number and alright, let us do for 15 and 55z. So we have 15 and we have 55z. Okay, I'll break down 15. 3 times 5. Class. 3 times 5. Break down 55. 5 times 11. Okay. 5 times 11 times z. Okay. So only 5 is the answer, because 5 has a friend up here. I mean, there's a 5 up and down. So my answer is just 5. See, Z does not have a friend. 11 does not have a friend, and 3 does not have a friend. So this is the answer. So this is the greatest common factor between 15 and 55Z. Okay? So now you know how to find the greatest common factor. So now you will need that to do factoring. Okay? So we want to do factoring. So you have a question that says 8x plus 24. So you have to do step 1, find the greatest common factor. Find the greatest common factor. So you do 8x and 24. Factors of 8, 2 times 2 times 2 times x. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 8 is 8x. Factors of 24. 2 times 12. 2 times 6. 2 times 3. 4 times 6 is 24. Then I find 2, 2, 2. So my greatest common factor is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. Okay? Then, now that I found 8, I am going to write this 8 outside the bracket. 8. See, there's a plus there. Plus 8. 8 times what is 8x? 8 times x. 8 times what is 24? 8 times 3. Then these that are in the bracket, I will put them in one bracket. X plus 3 with the 8 outside. And this is my answer. Okay? And let's try another one. One more example. I'll do over here. Okay. We do 7x minus 28. All right. So step 1, find greatest common factor. Greatest common factor. So here, 7x will be 7 times x. Negative 28. Well, no, just do 28. Just do 28. Don't do the negative. Do 28. What numbers did I multiply that gave me 28? 4. So 2 times 2, which is 4, times 7. So 4 times 7, there is no letter. Okay? So I stop there because there is no letter next to 28. Who is common? Only 7. Okay? So my greatest common factor is 7. Now, if my greatest common factor is 7, I will write this 7 outside. I'll open the bracket. I'll write the minus because of that. I'll write this 7 because of the bracket. 7 times what gave me 7x? 7 times x. 7 times what gave me 28? 7 times 4. This 7 is the same. I will write it 1 outside. Open the bracket. Whatever is in the bracket goes inside this bracket. So this comes, this comes, this comes. You don't repeat this 7. Since it's 2 of them, you bring it outside. And this is your answer. Now let's do one where there is no common factor. Okay? One more. And then you will do the examples by yourself. So let us do 13z plus 9m. Factors of 13. Factors of 13z is 13 times z. Factors of 9m is 3 times 3 times m. See? There is nothing common. 3 does not have a friend. 13 does not have a friend. 3 does not have a friend. Z does not have a friend. These are not the same. These are not the same. So what will you say? There are no common factors. So 13z plus 9m cannot be factored. For this lesson, for you to be successful, you have to know how to do your multiplication, how to do your division. All this you need to know. So if you don't know your factors, something will be wrong. So you have to practice how to multiply, because I'm not giving you the calculator, okay? You have to know your times table. You have to.